morning and welcome back to Cityline. It is wonderful to be in your home from my kitchen table. We have a lovely hour ahead of us. Later on, we'll be talking with Santa for Seniors. What is that? Well, you're going to find out. And then the Emergency Food Network is here to talk about their annual gala that's coming up virtually and how you can once again support that wonderful organization. Domestic Violence Action Month is upon us in October, and we will have two exceptional guests. Kelly and Nadia will be here to talk about their partnership and how you can be a part of preventing domestic violence. Our Pet of the Week is coming up this week, and you definitely want to tune in for that because that's always such a feel-good moment. And then with me right now is, in my opinion, one of the most outstanding individuals in Pierce County. I hate to even think of, she's looking around, I hate to even think of the day that she steps away from this office. I'm talking about Julie Anderson, who was our Pierce County Auditor. And she is here to talk about our general election, which is coming up November 3rd. As I like to say, 26 days away from your chance to exercise your right to vote. Welcome, Julie Anderson.
Thank you. I'm glad that you introed that as our November general election because it is ours. I may have responsibility for administering the election, but this belongs to Pierce County. Every single citizen of Pierce County of voting age owns this election, and I need your help. So let's get on with it. I need to share some info.
You got it. So we already said November 3rd is the big election. I think you have to have been living underneath a rock if you don't know that day. So let's go right to the ballot. What races will be on the ballot besides the big presidential ones?
Well, hey, I'm glad you asked that because, you know, occasionally I hear from people, oh, my vote doesn't count because we have an electoral college, so why bother? But there's only one race on this ballot. I'm holding up a ballot you can't see that has anything to do with the Electoral College. My goodness, we're electing a governor, a secretary of state, Senate races, judges, some really important local advisory votes. We've got a sheriff, of course, right here in Pierce County. That's unusual news. State superintendent of public education. Everybody's thinking about public education right now. So there's a lot on this ballot and your vote absolutely counts. It's not just about president, but hey, for those of you that are only interested in president, go ahead and just mark that race and just submit your ballot. Don't get stressed over everything else, but we've got lots of important things. So there's something for everybody. And this only happens once every 4 years, and I would say it's an extremely unusual year.
It is. Julie, in the years that I've been interviewing you, and you have taught me so much, this is a very unique bubble that we are sitting in now domestically in the United States when it comes to an election. So I want to get right to the point and ask the very hard question. Is our vote by mail election system compromised?
No, it isn't. Some of your viewers who read the daily papers and follow news closely may have heard about an increase in cybersecurity attacks. We have no evidence that any election system at the state or local level has been compromised or even attacked, but we're ready for it. We've been ready for it for quite some time. Extreme precautions are being taken and put in place. So I'm highly confident. We've got a whole army of cybersecurity experts way above me protecting the system statewide and in Pierce County.
Thank you for that. That is comforting to hear that directly out of our auditor's mouth.
Yeah.
Do we have enough ballot drop boxes, number one? And then number two, to loop back around what I just asked you, are they safe physically?
Sure. Let me share my screen and talk a little bit about ballot drop boxes. Yes, we've got plenty of ballot drop boxes. Look at this stat. 95% of Pierce County's voters are within a 2-mile radius of a ballot drop box. And this is what they look like. These are some of our big new tanks, some of the biggest ones that we have, lots of capacity. And for our smaller drop boxes, we've either upsized for this election or we've added a second drop box because we're expecting 85 to 90% turnout. And I know you want to know some of those stats later. So we've got 46 drop boxes plus the election center. And Pierce County goes the extra mile to make sure that those boxes are just super secure, trustworthy. So if I trust the post office, and I'll be mailing through the USPS. That's how I'm going to return my ballot this election because I'm an early voter. But everybody else, if you want to cut out the middleman and use a drop box, go for it. They're open 24 hours a day the minute you get your ballot. And ballots are going to be mailed out October the 16th. They're going to be hitting mailboxes for most people October 17th through the 21st. We'll talk more about that later. So they are open 24 hours a day for your convenience. And we collect them at least every 48 hours. And in this election, there are going to be days where we visit every drop box multiple times a day because we want to start processing. We're not worried about them getting over full because they're big, but we do want to grab them and start processing and start crediting voters' voter registration records. 2 employees have to be present at all times when we're breaking seals and handling those ballots. These are employees, not volunteers. They undergo a criminal history and background check. Ballots are transported directly to the election center. So again, we're cutting out the middleman. And for those people that say, I want to vote in person, well, we're a vote by mail. So we don't have polling places and you don't vote in person. We don't have voting machines in Pierce County or just really anywhere in Washington state. So putting your ballot in a drop box is as close as you're going to get to voting in person because it goes right from you right to an election worker at the election center. And your ballot is guaranteed on time whenever you use these ballot drop boxes. You don't have to do any guessing about whether your ballot is going to get a cancellation stamp on time from the USPS. And then they're sealed with tamper-evident seals so we can make sure no one's been opening up those ballot drop boxes. And we do something really unusual here in Pierce County. We actually have these teams of 2 whenever they're servicing drop boxes. They're tracked with GIS tracking. And whenever they break a seal, they upload photographic evidence of that that's being monitored real time by a manager, by a supervisor. And we can see exactly what route they're taking when they arrive at each drop box. So there's no deviation at all. So think inside the box. Definitely consider using our drop boxes. We're very, very proud of them.
So Julie, for some of us who are tactile and we here I have my pamphlet, my voter pamphlet here. How does a voter verify that their ballot has been received and counted? Some people really need that, and especially if they are somebody who's not comfortable voting online.
Okay, well, let me share my screen again. You can go to voteraw.gov. So this is what it looks like. We have a new centralized election management and registration system in Washington state. Maybe new to you, not so new to us. We've been using this for well over a year now, had lots of successful elections. And this is, when you go to voteraw.gov, this is what you're gonna see. And it all starts with you accessing your voter registration records. So when you do that, you are going to see lots, I can't do it right now, and I haven't gotten my ballot, so I wouldn't have anything to show you, but you enter in there and then you're going to see lots of options, including your ballot status. And you can see that it's either been received, been accepted, been counted. So you can track your ballot that way. I would ask people to please be patient and use some common sense. When you put it in our ballot drop box, give us a couple of days, 3 days maybe, to get it from the ballot drop box, bring it in, process it and upload the information into the election management system, you're not going to see instantaneously that your ballot was received. But that is a great way for you to just have comfort and confidence that your ballot has arrived, especially if you're using the U.S. mail and you're feeling like you've lost track of your ballot. Jump on there.
Julie, it feels like that you and your fabulous team have thought of everything. And leading up to this, as well as I know you and I know your team, I've been there on site. You are always prepared. Nobody was prepared for COVID. So how are you adjusting and viewing this election under the guise of COVID-19 and all the challenges that have come with it?
Well, the great news for Washington State and Pierce County is we've been using vote by mail exclusively for over 10 years, right? So this is not new to us, and vote by mail is one of the safest, most secure ways to vote, and it guarantees that everybody can participate, especially since it's postage free and we have all those drop boxes, and we have that wonderful 18-day voting period. Lots of time for you to return your ballot, and now you know that you can verify that it's been received and accepted. So the big pivot for us is really about keeping our employees and voters safe who may walk in to do in-person registration or receive a replacement ballot. And to keep our employees safe, because we have hundreds of them hard at work in a big election like this, we've had to expand our floor space so that people are sitting at least 6 feet apart. We've done things like we don't really have a break room that can accommodate 200 people. So we've ordered box lunches for all of the election workers so they can just leave and go out to their cars to have lunch and be isolated and protected. Little things like that. So mostly it's been space and little tactics like boxed lunches. And of course, everybody's wearing a mask. And all of our employees are taking temperature checks before they walk into the facility. And then we've been really encouraging flu vaccinations. I hope all of your viewers are doing that. And COVID testing too. We really took advantage of the mobile testing. So we are a healthy group and we're going to stay healthy. That's been it.
Yes, that's huge. That's very huge as you humbly downplay all of that.
Right.
Julie, in this last few minutes, I want to ask a very big question of how can our viewers get involved? And I also want you to paint a picture for us of the percentage of votes or the amount of votes you are expecting to receive in this upcoming election.
Well, right now we are big time focused on voter registration. And we're trying to get as many people registered and get their registrations updated before that first mailing on October 16th, because that first mailing, we want it to be as comprehensive as possible. And we want people to do everything early. Please, if you value democracy, if you appreciate the work that we do at the election center, the biggest thing that you can do for us is to be prepared and register early. Verify your mailing address. Again, go to votewa.gov for that, or just pick up the phone and call us at 798-VOTE, and then to please vote early. Amanda, I forgot your question.
That's okay. Let's talk about the percentage of votes or registration.
Oh, yeah. So we're really big on registration right now. And it's looking like voter registration is going to exceed what we had even projected. We had based this election on 550,000 registered voters in Pierce County, and we're going to reach that by the end of this week. So I'm guessing that we're going to have 560,000 registered voters in Pierce County, and of those, 85 to 90% are going to return a ballot.
Oh my goodness. Well, with that being said, I'm going to ask your fabulous partner to take care of you so you can take care of the rest of the team. Julie, there are not words enough for us here at TV Tacoma to thank you for your heart, your values, your morals, and for what you do for us every single day. So thank you for helping me exercise my God-given right to vote. And Take extra vitamins because you're going to need it.
Yep, vote early.
And vote
Vote
early.
early.
Julie, thank you so very much for your time today.
Yeah, thanks, guys.